Well, howdy there, folks. I hope you're doing great out there. As always, this is a very exciting video here today. In this video here today, we're going to talk about a stock that I think is going to 2x or more within the next 12 months and why I believe so. Now, this is a big video for me because you know me as a long-term investor. I'm usually thinking years out in regards to a stock and talking about, stocks I believe in over the next 3, 5, 7 years. But I personally believe, and I'm going to go through in detail everything on why I believe this stock will over double within 12 months, okay? And I have to believe in this a lot for me to come out with a video like this that's going to get a ton of views, and I'm either going to look really smart or really dumb in regards to this stock, okay? Now, in regards to how do you get a stock to 2x really fast, okay? I've been in the market for 12 years, and I've been fortunate to either be part of this or see this on countless stocks, okay? There are 4 core things that you can get a stock to 2x fast. Insane growth. If a company's just growing like crazy, the investor demand is just going to come into that stock like crazy, okay? Insane growth can get your stock to 2x fast, okay? Next up is if your stock is beaten down heavily and it just gets way too undervalued. And we've seen this time and time again with some stocks that they just get beat down too far. Wall Street kicks the dog whites down, as they say, over and over and over again. And eventually that company starts coming back, that stock price starts coming back because it's just got way too undervalued. And when I say beaten down heavily, I'm talking about stocks that are beaten down over 50%, okay? Next up is if you destroy numbers several quarters in a row, you can get your stock to 2x pretty fast. And I mean absolutely obliterate them. If you continue to just destroy your numbers quarter in and quarter out, investors take notice of that, traders take notice of that, and your stock starts going up really, really rapidly, okay? And last is if you have a massive short squeeze. And I'm talking about if it is a stock that is heavily shorted and it just keeps going up and up and up, the shorts end up having to cover more. And when you cover your short position, you are buying shares in that stock, which just forces more shorts to cover, and it gets into the situation where the stock just goes up and up and up. And that's, I think, part of the reason why Tesla stock, one of my stocks, has just continued to thrive over the past year, was it just caused a massive short squeeze because so many people got caught with their pants down in that one, essentially, where they thought, stock was just going to continue to go down. They shorted it, and then they kept having to cover and cover and cover again. And in regards to this stock we're talking about here today that I think is going to 2x fast, this is a beaten down stock, okay? So it already has one of the key check marks you need to have your stock double fast. This stock is down I think 70% this year, okay? We're talking about beaten down on beaten down, okay? This is a company that I believe will destroy numbers for the next several quarters, and this stock is unbelievably heavily shorted right now, and I think it is setting up for a massive short squeeze. And when I say massive, I'm talking about gargantuan, all right? And am I putting my money where my mouth is in this whole situation? You guys know if I'm going to come out here and stick my head out like this, you better believe I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Yes, just today I bought nearly $6,000 in one of my accounts, and in another one of my accounts I bought about $30,000 worth here today. And basically this stock's about $11 here today. I will continue to buy the stock all the way until it hits $20 a share. After $20 a share, I will just hold it. And later on in this video, I'm actually going to tell you where I would contemplate selling this stock at toward the end of this video here today. So let's get into this, guys. I hope you enjoy this. As always, I'm going to kind of give you my full bullish thesis on why I believe this stock is going to 2x in 12 months or less. If you don't mind, smash a thumbs up, and are you subscribed to the channel? It is free to do both of those things, and I very much appreciate it. And if you enjoy the content of this channel and us talking about stocks all the time, go ahead and maybe consider subscribing for free. Also, I put together a video this weekend for you guys, basically how to make your first $100,000 in the stock market. So if you want to check out that when this video is over, it's linked in the description down there, and that once again is absolutely free to check out. Okay, Nordstrom is the stock up here, ticker symbol JWN. I 100% believe this stock will double up or more within the next 12 months, okay? First off, this stock is beaten down unbelievably heavily. This stock is everybody's kicking it while it's down, and they just want to keep kicking it over and over again, okay? And get ready to see a beat down like you've probably never seen a beat down before, okay? The 5-day performance of the stock down 9%. The 1-month performance of the stock down 22%. The 3-month performance of the stock down almost 24%. that's just the tip of the iceberg, okay? That's just mild. Look at the year to date. Down over 71% year to date. That's one of the worst year to dates you will see on any stock out there. Absolutely extraordinary. Down over 71%. This is the definition of a stock that is beaten down and everybody has completely forgotten about it and no one cares to buy this stock right now. And I think they're making a massive mistake, okay? Let's be clear. JWN is priced for bankruptcy. But will that bankruptcy really happen, okay? You don't just get your stock to go down 71% just, by luck. A lot of people are pricing this one for BK, okay? Well, could it happen? It's happened to a lot of players out there, right? Barney's filed bankruptcy. And these bankruptcies I'm showing you are just within the past year or two, okay? Forever 21 filed for bankruptcy. Sears filed for bankruptcy. JCPenney's filed for bankruptcy. Neiman Marcus filed for bankruptcy. So a lot of players in the retail space have filed bankruptcy over the past year or two. We know this, okay? A ton of players. And now Wall Street's basically saying, JWN, you're next, okay? That's how you get your stock to go down 71% in a matter of 9 months or so, okay? But what did all those retailers have in common? I think that's really an important question, okay? All those retailers had in common is a lack of customers. I mean, who's shopping at Sears? Who's shopping at JCPenney's? Like who's shopping at those places? They just have a lack of customers. They're just not relevant. Maybe they were relevant back in the 80s, but they're not relevant today, okay? Lack of customers and a lack of an online shopping experience. All those players, they all lack a good online shopping experience, and that hurts them tremendously. So when you compound basically a lack of customers with a lack of online shopping, yeah, you're probably going to go under. You're probably going to end up facing bankruptcy, especially when you have big debt loads, okay? But where things differ for Nordstrom is Nordstrom is still highly relevant today. It is a well-run company, which we cannot say the same for those other players out there, okay? They have very loyal clientele, and I mean very loyal clientele, unbelievably loyal, much more so than any of those other players out there like a JCPenney's or Macy's or Sears or any. You can't even compare these companies, okay? Just completely different clientele base, and they're going after the top 10% of income earners in the United States of America, which are the people that are hurt by far and away the least. It doesn't mean only the top 10 income earners are the only ones that shop there. I'm just saying that's the main segment they go after, and that's their main customer base at the end of the day. And those folks, they have money pretty much don't matter what, and they go to a lot of events and different things that they need new clothing, and they shop at Nordstrom, and they are extremely loyal. I just spent $900 on Nordstrom last night on a bunch of different clothing items, okay? And I can tell you, just, this one made me even more bullish because I spent that money and then I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to spend $900 on Nordstrom.com right now. I wonder how many other people are doing that out there. And maybe I should buy a little more stock. It kind of made me think that way, right? And I went and checked on business this weekend, okay? I went over there on Saturday afternoon, it was a September afternoon, right? Over at the Fashion Show Mall, which is right off the Las Vegas Strip. Obviously, we know Vegas isn't as busy as it usually is, right? But I can tell you, I went in there and it was actually decently busy over at Fashion Show Mall. It was actually decently busy in there for a September afternoon. And then on top of that, Nordstrom also owns a Nordstrom Rack business, which continues to come back stronger and stronger and stronger than ever before. Nordstrom Rack business is basically a store you can go into, usually in nice strip malls, okay? And this is where you go if you want, more affordable clothing that is still toward that higher end. People love Nordstrom Rack, okay? But the e-commerce business is something Wall Street is completely forgetting about. I think they're doing like maybe channel checks, or maybe they're not even doing any work on this one, but maybe they're like watching the stores and are like, there's not as many people going in that store, but they're forgetting e-commerce, okay? And I'm hearing this from several people out there. This person says, Nordstrom e-commerce is surging. My friend works there in logistics. They're working night shifts. I can tell you, I've heard from many different people out there that Nordstrom's e-commerce business is incredibly strong. And this is what people are not accounting for, okay? No one's accounting for the fact fact that or at least on Wall Street, that I just put in for a $900 order last night, and so did probably a lot of other people, right? They're just thinking about the physical retail side of the business, which continues to come back stronger and stronger. And when I kind of, went in there and talked to some of these folks, and other people are talking to some of these folks, we're getting basically some intel that business is not back to 100%, no doubt, but the physical stores are actually doing decent, which is impressive, especially when you add on top the fact that e-commerce is absolutely going crazy for Nordstrom right now. I mean, they're going to post their strongest growth in e-commerce probably ever right now, okay? So here's everything shorts are forgetting right now and why they're getting so excited about the stock, but they're forgetting all this. E-commerce is booming for Nordstrom, and e-commerce will be better margins for the company and more profitable for the company, in my opinion, longer term than the physical retail side of the business. And that is a game changer, okay? E-commerce is booming. Secondly, Christmas is coming. Watch out, short sellers. November, December, always the strongest time for this business. Watch out, okay? Also, keep in mind the anniversary sale was a month later than it usually is, which is going to help out the current numbers in a big way. Watch out. Pent-up demand like we haven't seen before coming in 2021 and 2022 for the entire apparel industry, in my opinion, because this is going to be the worst year for apparel sales in a long, long time. Let's put it that way. So I think there's going to be a ton of pent-up demand as life starts to hopefully return in 2021 and especially moving into 2022. And then stimulus is just that cherry on top. For Nordstrom, the good news is, even if no stimulus packages got announced, the good news is for Nordstrom, they really cater to, once again, the higher end, and the higher end isn't that affected by stimulus, whether they get extra stimulus money or not. But I will say, the fact that more stimulus money could come out there is just a cherry on top for Nordstrom, because that means people would have even more money in their pocket than a lot of folks expected. And keep in mind, if you look at the savings account rates on how much money folks have saved in just the United States of America alone, when you really look at those numbers, you see there's a lot of money out there, and Nordstrom's just a little guy when you compare it to all that money in those savings accounts right now, never mind if stimulus comes, okay? The quarterly numbers over the next 2 quarters, I think, are going to get beat. I think they're going to get beat very nicely. I think they're expecting about 14% downward number in terms of revenue for this quarter, okay? Keep in mind, the anniversary sales in this quarter rather than last quarter is going to be a huge boom. Also, I think e-commerce is way stronger than anyone expected. So don't be surprised if they beat very nicely current quarter and next quarter as well, which analysts believe that quarterly numbers will be down 11% next quarter. Current year expected to be 28% down revenue. Don't be surprised if they come in way better than that. And next year, the company is expected to grow 22.5% revenues. Do not be surprised at all if the company reports much stronger numbers than that, okay? So we already have 2 of the pieces setting up. This is what I call the perfect storm, when you can put a lot of these big pieces together on how you can get a stock to go up fast, okay? Beaten down heavily, and I think they're going to be in a position where they're going to destroy numbers for several quarters into the future. But what about the huge short squeeze? That could make it a true perfect storm scenario that could get the stock to 2x fast if things play out the way I think they're going to play out, okay? Let's look at the short interest. Look at this, okay? These are the latest numbers we have to go off of, which basically were released on September 15th, okay? Almost 43 million is the current short volume for Nordstrom stock right now. Dollar volume sold short, over $500 million. Short percent of float, nearly 40%, okay? Basically, we have a scenario where Wall Street and investors in general, if we want to call it that, as short sellers, are insanely short in the stock right now. They are trying to price it like it's going to go into bankruptcy or something like that, and the stock's going to go to 0. And I think if they think that, they might be in for a rude awakening in this whole scenario. So they have gone unbelievably short into this. Look at this, okay? This basically shows you the short interest over time, basically, in Nordstrom stock, and it's right around an all-time high, pushing up close to 40% percentage total of the float is short, okay? That is unbelievable. Look at how those numbers has just gone up and up and up and up and up as the stock has continued to go down and down and down, and the shorts have just gotten more conviction, like, yes, it's gonna go down. And unless we have a scenario where the entire economy has to shut down again, I think these short sellers might be in for something. Let's put it that way. I don't think they're really properly thinking about the risk reward, okay? The reward is the stock goes to zero, completely bankrupt, completely insolvent. They just can't make it. No one will loan them money, things like that. I think it's unrealistic, but it is a possibility, as all things are possible. But here's the thing. This stock could very easily 2x, 3x, or 4x over the next year or two. And here we are with these shorts being massively short, and they don't even realize they are setting themselves up for an epic, I mean an absolute epic short squeeze that could last for several months, if not an entire year, okay? An epic short squeeze. And here's what we're looking at for this stock. And by the way, I think those short numbers might have even climbed more recently. We'll get to see where they're at basically in a few days from now, okay? Next earnings should be coming out in the 2nd to 3rd week of November, and watch out around that time, okay? As far as Nordstrom stock in the short term, I don't know if it'll go much of anywhere in the very, very short term. But I think once those earnings, I think that's where things start setting up really insane for the stock. And I think that's where the stock could really start booming, and you could start potentially getting a massive short squeeze on this stock. So watch out for those next earnings. So basically, the way I'm kind of looking at this is I got another month to 2 to buy this stock, and hopefully it's kind of on the DL, and you know, Wall Street's not all over this thing. But I think after next earnings, you know, woo-wee! You know, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. As far as me personally, I will be holding the stock until it goes to at least $30 plus. At least $30 plus. Then, once it's over $30, I'll see, okay? That's when I'll kind of reassess the situation and say, okay, it's at 32, it's at 33 or whatever. Do I want to go ahead and take my profit, run out of this, or do I want to hold this as more of a longer term investment, okay? But I can tell you, I'm not selling the stock. If it goes up 20% tomorrow, I don't care, okay? This stock goes up 50% over the next week, I don't care. I will not sell the stock until it's above $30. If it doesn't go above $30, it is what it is. But I'm not selling this asset that I truly believe in and truly believe is about to go on an epic run. And mind you, an epic run that Wall Street doesn't even see coming. And I think these shorts are just gonna get set up into a real bad situation. And for me, I'm willing to take the risk. Is this stock going to zero? I don't think so. But I am willing to take that risk. I think the chance of bankruptcy for this company, very, very low as long as the economy can stay open. I think if there's a forced shutdown in the US economy, that totally changes the scenario. I don't think we're going to have an entire economy close again. It doesn't look like that. I think things will continue to open more and more. And if that scenario plays out, I think the odds of bankruptcy extremely low. But the odds I double, triple, or quadruple my money in a very short amount of time in the stock, very, very high. So I almost look at buying Nordstrom stock right now as I'm actually buying essentially like a call option. I'm essentially buying a call option, and you know, like I said, I don't think the short sellers see what's coming in front of them. They're so focused on shorting the stock, and I'm like, you know, you've done well, short sellers, you've done well. But if you think the stock's going to zero, outside of a scenario when the economy has to close again, you better think again, okay? I think this one could be similar to an elf on the shelf situation, which is a stock that we've gained over 150% on. That was a stock that was, you know, similar to this in the respect that it was beaten down, it was kicked, and it was kicked like a dog, a down dog, okay? They just kicked it, and it was just, And yeah, obviously elf has come back roaring over the past year or two. I think Nordstrom's gonna be one of those type of gainers, maybe even bigger for us. Time will tell, we shall see, but yeah, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I believe this one's gonna be pretty sweet for us. We shall see, okay? Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, if you don't mind, smash that thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do it. It's free, and I appreciate all you guys that are in the thumbs up squad. Also, if you want to check out a video I put together for you guys on how to make your first $100,000 in the stock market, check out the description down there. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.